So the country's been enjoying a reprieve from load shedding, and the regular briefings by the Energy and Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa have been updates in progress and a healthier prognosis than a year ago. The minister has also commended efforts of the board and the team at Eskom, and a familiar name now is that of Bheki Nxumalo, who is the head of generation at Eskom. And Nxumalo joins me now to talk about the last few months and the road ahead for South Africa's electricity story. Good morning, and thank you so much for your time. The headlines are encouraging. Eskom's new problem is too much power, but it still won't rule out load shedding. Eskom produced so much excess power last week, it had to cut back. Bheki, how does that make you feel?
Thank you very much, Iman, for inviting me to the program, and good morning to your viewers. Yeah, it's really quite pleasing, Iman. If you recall, last year, this time, we were going through very, very difficult time for the whole country. So it's quite encouraging, the current result that we have achieved, where we are actually now in a position to really operate in sort of normal form. So I'm quite happy with what the team has achieved and also the support that we've been getting from all stakeholders, internally and externally from the organization. Thanks, Iman.
So this is about the steady ongoing improvement in the reliability of your generation fleet, which means that the generation performance itself can be sustained better. And what's behind it, we understand as the public, is the Generation Operational Recovery Plan. Just tell us a little bit more about how that's beginning to yield the type of results you're seeing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amanda. Indeed, you will recall that we have submitted the recovery plan to board, which they have approved it last year in March, which then from management, both within Eskom and generation leadership, we then went back to go and implement. So, but as you know, the plan alone is just one part of it, but the critical component of any other plan is the staff. The one issue that we needed to deal with was the issue of the morale of the generation team. So with the improvement that we've been seeing over this past period, we are really now starting to see that, from across the fleet, the performance is ramping in from one station to the other, to a level now where almost all the stations are really performing to the right level and steadily improving every week and every month. Like you indicated, last week we were consistent, even this week above 70%, which is quite encouraging as well. Going through this winter month, we are left with 1 month in winter. So we are already putting plans now to see how we're gonna look at the summer month as well. Thanks, Iman.
What's the status this morning, Bheki, on the reduction of unplanned capacity loss factor? You guys call it the UCLF, or unplanned maintenance. In other words, how on top of planned maintenance is the team now?
No, we are really on top of it. I mean, if you look at it this morning, we just below 9,000. So we will, yeah, it's actually a much better space for us to effect the plans. So although it creates another difficulties for the system operator, because it means then during off-peak hours you will sit with about 10,000 access megawatts, which also create another problem from the system point of view. So, but I think it's a better system for the system operator to have, because then he can decide which unit they take it down to put it on cold reserve, and then so that they come back when it's required. So we are much better now. I think we're planning, obviously the maintenance season will start around September. We still got units, we are hovering around 4,000 now for the planned maintenance, which we were planning around that number anyway. So the plans are currently quite on target. The good thing is that the unplanned availability is the one that is our focus, that we want to keep driving it down, because once we are around below 10,000, we are around 9,000. It gives us enough base to say, even if we are picking up difficulties, we're not going to go beyond the 14,000 that we've indicated for our winter plan. Thanks, Iman.
How much impact is renewables having on generation provision? What's the contribution right now?
Yeah, renewables, they are contributing. The important thing is that if you look at the wind and the sun now is good. So there is contribution during the real time, but maybe the wind does help during the peak hours. But when it's not there, that's why it's critical that the generation fleet itself need to be sufficient to cater for those. But the renewables, they are contributing as well. I can't discount that. You know, it's just that sometimes when you need it, if it's not there, then you need to have a generation capacity from the current fleet that will see the country through. But there is enough that is coming through that we are seeing during the day. And then obviously our big issue is the peak hours from 5 in the evening. That's unfortunately when the sun goes down, then we don't have enough storage capacity as yet as a country. That's why there's so much effort now to start bringing in the batteries as well, so that we are able to deal with the peak hours, because at 7 o'clock in the evening when everyone get home, then the sun is not there. Luckily, the wind, sometimes it's there. So that is the impact that, and sometimes it comes in off peak as well, especially the wind. If you look at this current week with the high winds around the coastal Cape Town, then it means it creates more problems than for the off-peak hours for the system operator.
This is so interesting, and I'm so sorry we're having such a simplistic conversation, but what I'm hearing is that it's unreliable or not in time, renewable. So maybe just respond to that and also just give us a sense in the proportion that it's contributing towards a generation availability. What is the proportion of renewables to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's unreliable, because we know exactly the profile of the wind or the sun, you know. So it's something that is known. We know that for the peak in the evening, the sun is not going to be there. So that we know. The wind, we can get about around 2,000 when we are having a good day. Sometimes it does come out. So it depends. Like, I mean, if you look at it now, during the day, the wind is low, the sun is high. So we have all those information, but so that's why I don't want to say it's unreliable, because it's something that you know the sun is there during the day, so we can plan as well if we want to what plant need to come out. The unfortunate thing is that you cannot take out this baseload plant or what we call dispatchable. That is the issue that is a problem with the current. You can have as much sun during the day, up to even if you have 5,000. But if it comes at when you need it at the peak, if it's not there, then it becomes a problem. But that profile is known that they are contributing around 33% or 25 to 33. But on a bad day, they can go up to even 5 or 2%. That is the issue that we need to deal with. But I mean, since we understand that profile, it helps us to plan that the base for the, especially for the peak, we need it, because sometimes if the wind is not there, it's not there.
Yeah. Bheki, I want to quickly go to this before I let you go, because I know we're running out of time. The nation, well, you have, I just want to quickly set the scene. We have 15, or Eskom has 15 coal-fired power stations. The largest is Medupi, and perhaps a quick word on how many are functional and being returned to service. But the nation heard former CEO Andre de Ruyter urging government to avoid sinking too much money into Eskom's aging and deteriorating coal-fired power stations. He said the money would be better spent extending the utilities transmission grid to allow the private sector to take over generation. Was he right? And how is what is happening now challenging the picture he painted, if at all?
Yeah, I don't want to go to the merits of right or wrong. What is critical for me is that the country, there is a base load that the country needs to operate. And that base load will come from what is called dispatchable energy. So we need a combination of both. And also, if you look at the investment, I mean, last year, this time we were hovering 16,000, 14, we are around 9, like I've indicated, which means we've clawed back 7,000. If you look at it in monetary terms, to invest money to get into that. You talk over 100 billion. So, but if you look at the amount of money that was spent, so this was the cheaper option from where I'm sitting and also from where we are as Eskom to say, let's fix the current fleet. You talked about Medupi and Kusile. Those are our top performing stations now, rightfully so. They are our newer stations. We had some teething problems during the startup, but now those stations are performing exceptionally well. We understand them now. The team is understanding them. So, yeah, it's that investing on the renewable only in that format, it would not give you to deal with the peak hours that I spoke to as well. So that's why we need to have both combination of dispatchable and those long-term storages that we're currently dealing with, and the batteries and all of those things, the peak, the pump storages.
Okay.
That's what we should have, the combination of both, Iman. Thanks.
Bheki Nxumalo, thank you very much, Head of Generation at Eskom. Appreciate the updates.